Hey, and welcome back to another video. It is your Lifestylist K, and today we are talking about moving in silence, a topic that's near and dear to my heart. Let's dive in.
And I'm found by the roadside, day in, day
So, I want to talk about moving in silence because when you talk too much about what it is that you have going on, it allows people who might not have your best interest to place their negative energy on it, and you find yourself not accomplishing what it is that you set out to accomplish. This has happened to me a few times, and this is why I move in silence as much as possible. Because my internal capacity to do things works better when other people don't know. And what I mean by that is we could have our goal set, right? And when other people know, it puts an unnecessary pressure on us. Now, moving in silence is not for everyone, but it's for a lot of people. And I wouldn't say that you should move in silence on everything that you do, but you have to have discernment on when to tell people what you have going on and when to not tell people. And you also have to have discernment on who to tell, because that's a big thing too. Sometimes you might can just tell just one person. Sometimes you can't say anything to anyone and just show them what you've been up to. Now, I've moved in silence in quite a few things, and it's been extremely beneficial for me. Move in silence when you're manifesting, moving in silence when you have big projects that you're doing, moving in silence when you want to accomplish something that has been hard for you to accomplish and you just want to make sure that you get it done because you don't want to disappoint yourself. Not other people, you don't want to disappoint yourself. And on the flip side of that, I want to talk about moving in silence when it comes to toxic relationships. If you watched my previous video, I talked about how I married two narcissistic men. My last marriage, it ended in a way to where I had to be completely silent. And what I mean by that is that my husband at the time was doing very toxic things. And I had kids lived in the home. So instead of arguing, instead of making scenes, um, I was just silent. Instead of feeding into the negative energy that he was giving and bringing to our home, I was just quiet. And the reason why I was quiet is because if you know, like I know, especially when you're dealing with toxic people, and they're out here doing whatever it is that they want to do. There's no amount of arguing, there's no amount of crying, there's no amount of conversation or communication that's going to keep them from doing what they want to do. You know, most people who are in those type of situations really desire to save their marriage. I did too. I wanted to save my marriage, but it couldn't just be me. I wasn't the one destroying the marriage. So I can't save it. And I definitely couldn't do it alone because I wasn't destroying it, right? So instead of worrying myself, instead of playing investigator, instead of trying to figure out what they're doing and this, and this, only to come and have a conversation, only to get lies in return, I decided to be quiet. And I know some people would say, well, being quiet means that you're just accepting what they're doing. Like I just said, people are going to do what people are going to do. There's nothing I can say that's going to change anyone's choice of behavior. So I was quiet. I was silent because I wanted to reserve my peace. I wanted to reserve my sanity, and I wanted to reserve the peace within the home. When I say quiet, I mean that I was not cursing and crying and trying to figure out why you're doing this, why you're doing. I wasn't giving off that energy. And when you do that, people don't know how to respond to it. Some people realize I'm making a big mistake and they fix themselves. On the flip side of that, some people are extremely narcissistic, extremely traumatized from past traumas. That's why they act the way they do, or they're extremely insecure and they'll just keep on. And I know that everybody's situation is different, but this is how I got through, right? There's nothing wrong with being silent because silent allows you to think. You can hear yourself, give yourself plans on what you should and shouldn't do. It allows you to move strategically. Silence is the golden ticket when you have things that you have to really figure out and when you have to listen to yourself. Because not everyone can give you the advice that you need. Sometimes you just have to listen to you. And so I listened to me. It was hard. Being silent isn't always easy. But I'm telling you, if you try it, it will help you succeed in whatever it is that you're doing. I've been extremely quiet in the manifestations that I've done because I didn't want those things to fall on certain people's ears who didn't believe in what I believed in. Because a lot of times your vision is what you see for yourself, that vision you have for yourself is not someone else's vision. You could see something so clear and you tell someone and they will knock it down. And of course, because they don't see what you see. They only see their limitations. They only see their setbacks. They only see their downfalls. They don't see how you could do it if they couldn't do it. So when it comes to being silent, there's so many facets that come with it. Horrible relationships, be silent and walk away. Keep your peace. Manifesting a life that you desire, getting a goal that you need to get without the distractions of others, be silent. Being silent is the sauce, it's the golden ticket. Because when you're not telling people what you have going on, they don't have anything to gossip about, they don't have anything to distract you from, they can't talk you out of it. Silence allows you to keep what needs to be kept close to the vest so that you can come out on top, whatever that looks like. So I provided different scenarios where silence has worked for me. Has silence worked every time? Of course not. You use discernment in those moments. There's a time to be quiet and be silent and watch it flow, and there's a time to speak up and say something. But there's power in silence, period. And I urge a lot of people who are working through things, trying to figure out certain goals in life and things of that nature to do it silently. Don't tell too many people. For those who are going through a tough time in a relationship and you know it's time to walk away and you realize that when you speak it's falling on deaf ears, stop speaking. Stop speaking and do what you need to do for you. Because when you stop talking, you hear better and you see better. Use your power silently and test it out. If you're like, I don't know if this is going to work, just try it. It never hurts to try a thing out. You're worth the try. You're always worth it. So always do what's best for you. Do what's going to help you. When we're consistently doing a thing over and over and over the same way, getting the same results, what's the harm in doing something a little different? So use your silent power and watch you come out on top.